In this episode, we're going to talk about how to start your landscape business. And please keep in mind, this is for all of you who are just starting your business. But if you're just starting out, I think this advice and these tips will be incredibly helpful to you. My name is Anthony with the Landscape Business Mentor. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you always get notified when we come out with new helpful videos. When you're starting your landscape business, one of the first steps you can take is incorporating your business. So you can go to the Secretary of State website and incorporate as an LLC or an S Corp, whatever works for you. I recommend using a single member LLC when you first get started. And then as you grow, you can always switch over to an S Corp. And you can look into those and figure out the advantages, disadvantages. But the thing that's nice about a single member LLC is that it gives you the protection of an LLC, and it also enables you to be taxed as a sole proprietor, and that's really nice. You'll also want to get a business license if that's required, which it usually is. And that will help you with your marketing, bonded, licensed, insured, all of that. And that's another point coming up. But, you want to get incorporated as, I'd say, single member LLC when you're first starting, and then get licensed. And by the way, this is relatively inexpensive to get started. It depends on what state you're in. In my state, I think it's about $80 or $90 to incorporate. Step number 2, get the proper liability insurance, car insurance, workers' comp insurance. These are all incredibly important because if an accident happens or you make a mistake, you'll be covered. And if you don't have insurance and something like that happens, it could put you out of business. So you want to get general liability, and that will protect you when or if you ever cause any property damage or any damage of any kind. And the vehicle insurance, you want to get business insurance on your vehicle. And when you're first starting off, you might tell them that you only use it 10% or 20% of the time for your business because you might not be using a lot for your business right away when you're first starting off. But however much you use it for your business, you just want to let your insurance provider know that and get set up with that. It's really important because if you just drive around your personal vehicle and you're using it as a business, and you just have your personal insurance and not business insurance, you could get in trouble with that if something happens and they find out that you're actually operating as a business. So it's just a safer bet to get the commercial business insurance for your vehicles. And then for the workers' comp, this just protects you and any potential employees or future employees that you have. If you ever get hurt, and if you're just working by yourself, it depends on what state you're in. You might not need it. You might be able to do a workers' comp waiver. However, it's still not a bad idea to have it in case anything happens. I believe it's always good to have that extra protection because it could make you more sustainable and enable your business to last longer because you'll be able to get through any mistakes or accidents. Step number 3, and these don't have to be in this exact order, but this is what I have them in. So step number 3, make sure you're in a location that has a good amount of demand for your landscape service. If you are in a smaller city, there might not be enough demand for you to go full-time with it. However, there might be a bigger city nearby and you could market your business in the bigger city and stay busier marketing and helping in those locations. If you're not near any big cities or anything like that, maybe it's better just to keep your business as a part-time endeavor while you have your full-time job. You still could take it full time. It's just if there's not enough demand, you might not be able to. But usually, no matter what city you're in, you should be able to make some money on the side each year. Landscaping, mowing lawns, doing some tree trimming, this kind of work. Usually people in any city need help with these things. And all you need to do is just run a few simple ads and find some clients. But I believe that if you're in a city with high demand, you're more likely to go full time with your business and have a business that's sustainable and successful. Step number 4 is market your business and get some customers. And there's a lot of different ways to do this. You can start a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a website, get a YouTube channel, run an ad in the paper, running an ad in, a popular local magazine, word of mouth. You can also send direct mail or maybe do some door hangers. And it depends on the solicitation laws and all that stuff when it comes to the door hangers. But there's a lot of different ways that you can get your first customers. And another thing you can do is just let your family and friends know that you're pursuing this kind of business. They might even need help. Maybe one of your family members already has someone that they're hiring, but when they find out that you're doing this kind of business, they'll just want to give the business to you. And same with friends. So it's important to let your family and friends know what's going on and, get out there digitally with Facebook, Instagram, a website, maybe run some Google ads. I can help you with all of those things with the Landscape Business Mentor. We offer marketing services and coaching services. We can build your Facebook page for you, get you set up on Google, build your website for you. So if you do need any help with those things, just let us know. And the marketing element is extremely important. And you just want to figure out what works so you can test market things first before you spend a lot of money on any one thing. And one thing that I really like to do is diversify what I'm using for my advertising. So I like to do a little bit of newspaper, some Facebook, some Instagram, some Google, and maybe some flyers, maybe a couple YouTube ads and things like that. If you mix it up, you are more likely to get clients coming your way. And there's definitely certain things in your area that will work better than others. In some areas, Google might bring you 80% of your new clients. So, you want to test market these things and see what works, see what doesn't work as much. And when you're first starting out, maybe focus a little bit more of your time, money, and energy on the platforms that are working the best for you right away. But you also want to make sure you can do this affordably, because when you're first starting out, you may not have a lot of finances. You might not be able to run ads on every platform. So at that point, maybe you could just focus on one newspaper ad and maybe some Facebook, and then maybe a little bit of Google, and just mix it up with those 3 and see what works. And if none of those things work and you were just running affordable ads and you weren't doing anything too over the top expensive, that's okay. You won't be out a lot. You just want to avoid getting into a situation where you hire some marketing firm and they want $10,000 from you or something crazy like that. You want to just spend a few $100s on each platform if possible, and see what kind of response you get. And again, you can always just talk to your family and friends and maybe knock on some doors, pass out some flyers.
Another thing you can do is call other big landscape companies. A lot of big and busy landscape companies have an overflow of work, and they have certain clients they want to get to in a timely fashion. So maybe they send their top crews to the clients they need to get to faster, but maybe they can have you help with some overflow work. And with my company, I've given work to other smaller landscape companies to help us out. So I know that if you call other big landscape companies, there's a chance that maybe a few of them will want your help and they can send you some of their overflow work.
Step number 5 is making sure you have the proper equipment. And one thing that I absolutely love about landscaping is that you can start off with barely anything and still help people with their yards. For example, you can pull weeds from landscape beds And you could do that just out of your car. You just bring some bags with you, put the weeds in the bags, put them in your car or in the trunk, and leave. It depends how big the yard is, but if it's a smaller yard with some landscape beds, it's, you're not going to fill up too many bags with weeds, and they'll fit in your car just fine. You can just pull some weeds. And that's something I really like because you can start off with barely any equipment at all. I started off with a minivan and a push mower, and I push mowed about 20 lawns every week, and I would pull the weeds out of landscape beds every week. And then I would do other little odds and ends jobs like gutter cleaning and just helping with other chores around the house. And that really worked for me for the first few years, and it went extremely well. And I didn't have to invest thousands of dollars in mowers and trucks and all this equipment. You can just start with, ideally you start with a pickup truck. A minivan isn't the most ideal situation. And the only reason I stuck with that for the first couple of years is because my minivan wasn't worth anything. So I couldn't trade it in and get anything for it anyway. But ideally you'll want just a small pickup truck, a push mower, and that's about it. Maybe a weed eater and a little handheld blower to blow the grass off sidewalks and things like that. But even with just that equipment, that's enough to get started. So you can just do some, mow some small lawns and pull weeds out of landscape beds and just do some other odds and ends job around the house when it comes to landscaping. Maybe you could do mulch. If you can get the mulch delivered from another company in your city and they can deliver it to the property for you, you can still spread mulch, even if you don't have a truck that can carry the mulch to the job site. And there's just a lot of other things that you can do with minimal equipment. And then as you grow, you can get the bigger equipment and market yourself as a company that can do even more. And for most of us, this is a gradual process. If you already have a lot of money saved up to start your business, you can get nice equipment right away, where you get a nice truck, a trailer, some zero-turn lawnmowers, and maybe you can get a mini skid steer like a Toro Dingo or a Bobcat and things like that. There's tons of equipment that you can get with a landscape business, and you can also operate with very minimal equipment. You can go either way with it. And my advice is, if you're just starting and you don't have a lot of money to start, you just start small and gradually work your way up. Step number 6 in the equation I'm putting together is have as little debt and as little bills as possible. And I know this can be a challenge, and I know it just depends on your circumstance in life. If you have 3 kids and a house payment and all of those things, this kind of business might be better for you just operating it as a part-time endeavor. If you're in that situation and you need to have good health insurance from your family and all that good stuff. However, if you're just starting out and maybe you're 22, 23, and maybe you're just in your 20s or 30s and you're just starting out, if you can avoid having debt and a lot of bills, that gives you more freedom of choice, and it gives you more freedom when it comes to what kind of customers you want to work with and what kind of employees you want to work with. If you have a lot of debt and you finance a lot of equipment, it could put you in a situation where you have to put up with bad clients and you have to put up with bad employees because you have debt payments to make and you have high bills. But if you keep lower overhead, you have more control because you can still survive without the bad clients and without the bad employees. And, you have more freedom when you're first starting out if you have, low debt and low monthly bills. Step number 7 is making sure you have a lawyer and a certified public accountant. The certified public accountant will help make sure you're doing all of your taxes properly. And this is really important for your business because, especially as you hire employees, you want to make sure you're doing your payroll taxes right. You're doing your state and federal taxes properly. You want to make sure you're doing all of those things correctly, and a certified public accountant will definitely help you with that. And a lawyer can help you make sure you have the right contract. So when you're sending potential clients contracts, or when you hire employees and you need to have a non-compete and a non-solicitation contract, they'll make sure those contracts are written properly for you and that they'll hold up in a court of law, right? You can't just make up your own contract. It might not work. And you definitely don't want to just Google, a contract and find something online. Have them make the contract for you, and that way that will protect you from potential lawsuits. And it can help you, like a non-compete and a non-solicitation contract can help protect you against employees trying to steal your customers and employees trying to steal other employees of yours if they quit and try to start their own thing. So that's super important. You definitely want to have a lawyer look over the contracts that you send to potential clients when you're doing estimates, and also make contracts for you for your employees, and just ask them for their advice if there's other things that you may need to do. Step number 8 is always understand and realize that this could take time. A lot of successful lawn care and landscape businesses can take 5 to 10 years until they really start to see substantial success. I know it took me in the 5 to 6 year mark. When I first started, I still made good money for myself and I was just working all alone. But then as I started to get employees, I made a little bit less, and then I finally got to a point where I made a little bit more again, and now we're doing incredibly well. And we have a $1.6 million a year business, and that's after 10 years, but we have a $1.6 million per year business and 23 employees and thousands of clients in my city. And but it took 10 years. And I remember at year 2, 3, and 4, I was really discouraged because I was doing all the work alone. None of the clients wanted to pay me well. Everybody wanted to pay me as little as possible. And then these days, people are willing to pay for high quality because after all these years, they know that me and my company provide high quality. So when people sign up with us, they know we're going to do it. They know we're going to do it right. And they know that we'll make things right if by chance anything goes wrong, because we honor our word, we'll make things right with our clients, and we can afford to do so because we charge the appropriate rates. And like I said, when you first get started, you might not be charging enough, or people might not be willing to pay you more because maybe you are just in that small truck. But if you need help with any of those things, I can help you with your pricing, with your marketing, and I can also help you with all these other steps that I talked about during this video. I own the Landscape Business Mentor, and you can visit us at thelandscapebusinessmentor.com. We offer coaching services, marketing services, and just helping you make sure that you're operating your business properly and getting plenty of profits from it, and also enjoying your life with your business. You can be in a situation where, and this is common in the early years, where you're just working 100 hours a week and all that. But in the long run, we want to design a business that provides you with a nice lifestyle as well. And you want to be enjoying your day-to-day life. And I can definitely help you with that. So you can give me a call anytime or visit our website. My number is 812-929-9463. And you can also visit us at thelandscapebusinessmentor.com. Thank you. And by the way, these are just some tips when it comes to getting started. There are many other things that we could talk about, and I'll be happy to talk to you about those things through coaching. We can talk on the phone, or we can do a Zoom call, whatever you want to do. I'll be happy to go over that more. And, while I have this YouTube channel, I'll be releasing other videos talking about more of the other things when you're first getting started. But these were just a few things that came to mind for me when it comes to just getting started. I thought back to my early days, and I really thought about what helped me and what you should do when you're first getting started, and just came up with these 8 simple points. I know there's many other things that we can talk about, and I'd love to talk about those things with you. So again, you can give me a call anytime or visit our website, and thanks for checking out the channel.